Hello everyone, it's Jin'taan here, and welcome to another update on what I've been getting up to in Nullsec. This week, that's mostly revolved around camps, either setting them up or breaking them up. At the start of the week, I continued my efforts in the 2v-tac pocket, using the archetypical Cloaky Sabre to shut off access to the H9-tac jump bridge, which is the only non-gate way in and out of the pocket. And the way that this works is fairly simple. You just sit cloaked approximately 200 kilometers away from the jump bridge, and whenever you see a potential target, in this case a squall, warp to the jump bridge, you decloak and warp there yourself, hopefully being able to launch a bubble before their 10-second session change timer expires, preventing them from jumping through. Because unlike regular stargates, jump bridges don't work if you're bubbled. Now, I don't present this kill to act like it's any great feat of skill, because quite frankly a toddler or a well-trained dog could have done much the same. But it is a great way to annoy your opponents and to make them feel unsafe in their own space at very little cost, even less than the pauses I set up in the last episode. And a side effect of that is that sometimes people will undock in PvP ships and try and chase you off, giving you the opportunity for even more fights. In this case, shortly after the squall kill, a jackdaw undocked, either looking for revenge or looking to clear the gate for his own use. So I got my Loki ready next door and proceeded to bounce around the grid for a while, just looking to land a scram on him so that I could warp my Loki in to finish him off. As given this Sabre is primarily built for warp speed, a jackdaw should be able to take it out 1v1. And here a slow switch to navigation mode really cost the pilot, as I was able to use my overheated scram and get right on top of him in a matter of seconds. And despite a few piloting mistakes on my side, such as not turning my MWD off once I'd close range, and also not reloading to EMP whilst facing an obviously shield-tanked ship beforehand, I was able to, much to my surprise, finish off the jackdaw, although in the moments after, the catalyst was able to close the distance and kill my Sabre. Still, after taking a look at the kill mail, it becomes immediately obvious why that was the case, as my target had eschewed any real buffer in favour of fitting a cap recharger. Now, if anyone from AO is watching and would like to know what a good jackdaw fit looks like instead, here is roughly what I'd suggest, although you can feel free to tweak things based on your skills or personal preference. The paper DPS here might be a little bit lower, but you're significantly faster and therefore better able to utilise your long range. And whilst you're not cap stable with absolutely everything running, if you turn off your invuln, you will be cap stable at 64%, and quite frankly, if you need to run both your invuln and your MWD for 4 minutes and 50 seconds, you should probably just leave the grid anyway, as very few frigate or destroyer-based fights should last that long. After another couple of days of admittedly relatively unsuccessful camping, something rather interesting happened. The 2v-tac pocket, both structures and Sov, was transferred to a different alliance, the Burning Contingent. Now that's absolutely not something I can take credit for. A decision like this is probably made weeks or even months in advance. But true to my word, I decided to simply wish them the very best of luck and move my attention over to the remaining bit of AO Sov in Nullsec, which is the Whitac M pocket in North Providence. Now this area is already quite heavily camped by other parties, so I decided to put my focus instead on breaking up the common camps that occur on the high-sec gate here. In this case, Low High Res was able to successfully use a pair of Hyperions to bait a Varga into bastioning on the Kari gate, and so we all dogpiled him with as much as we could bring. Now to be perfectly honest, there's not a lot of nuances to this fight that you can't see from the simple screen in front of you. I sat in conflag range and tried to burn through the Varga's tank as quickly as possible, and after that was dead, I moved out to the edge of Scorch optimal range, trying to use its incredible tracking to burn down cruisers, and just generally make myself difficult to kill, because ultimately if I got tackled by that Harpy or any other frigate, I was going to be in a lot of trouble. But it was a hell of a lot of fun. The Scorch Oracle is probably one of my favourite ships to fly in the game, even though it only has 2 buttons, just because it relies on having good decision making and being able to transversal match where you can. Although, as is becoming a theme in this video, I didn't exactly do it perfectly. Jouthy, please look away. Ultimately, we walked away with 2.5 billion ISK worth of kills to 600 million ISK worth of losses, whilst being able to hold the field and loot the few faction modules that dropped off of the Varga. The next opportunity for content in this area came when I was made aware of a big fight going on in Assar over a Metanox moon drill. Now, given that there were 500 people in local at that point, I wagered that we weren't going to be able to have much impact with the 10 to 20 people we could form, and given that it eventually rose to have over 1,000 people involved, that would definitely have been the case. However, I was aware that the Whitac MP Ansablex was coming out of reinforcement whilst this battle was going on. So I pinged for a fleet of Kikimoras, and whilst everyone else was busy, we were able to sneak the objective, temporarily taking down the connection between RMC's staging and AO's staging. With that victory under our belt, I then moved the fleet to GTAC 5 and proceeded to set up a camp there, attempting to stop any reinforcements coming through from Providence. And whilst this was mostly people feeding aimlessly into us for the next hour or so, there was one concerted effort to try and break us up with an Osprey Navy issue fleet, which, for the first time in 2 years, actually allowed me to get back in the saddle and FC a proper PvP fight. Shoot the scimitar of Piotr, shoot the scimitar of Piotr.
They're crashing.
Prop mods on, kill the scimitar. Prop mods on, kill the scimitar. Can we get a tackle on him? Can we get tackle on him?
They're crashing.
Medic does that.
Okay. Just heat on the scimitar then. Heat on the scimitar. Finish off the scimitar. And then we'll go on to this Osprey Navy. Props on, team. Props on. Okay, load long range. Kill this Osprey Navy. Reps on Jin if you can.
Is that 9F key clear?
Yes, probably. We don't have eyes.
Copy.
Okay, then on the Caracal Navy, broadcasted. Logi, how are we doing?
Fine. Nobody's getting shot, or at least they're not broadcasting.
They're wasting rapid lights on me.
Okay, and then after this, we're going to go on to the Osprey Navy, broadcasted.
Spread tackle if you can.
Yeah, we don't have any tackle.
Oh, got a scram, I'm coming.
Then shoot this
Damn
condor.
Rayfix.
Yep. Finish off Rayfix. Heat on Rayfix. He's about to break spool, so keep going. Great stuff, Jag. Grab anything you can. Call what you can grab. You're our target caller now. Grab that Caracal Navy issue if you can. DPS on the Caracal Navy issue.
If you can try, stay within like 30 of us, so we can keep you wrapped up.
Then we'll go for this catalyst. Never mind, it's whooped off.
I'm going for MEL.
Yeah, MEL. MEL is now primary.
Tackled. Oh, he's
Epic. Okay, good, no worries. I think he might be aggressed.
Burning for the Osprey.
It's aggressed.
What an idiot. Yeah.
Oh my god. What a fucking... Okay, kill this condor. Kill the condor.
Scram wolf.
Kill the wolf.
They jump.
Oh, what a massacre. Nice job, team. Nice job.
Whoever thought you needed more than 2 Kirans.
All told, this fleet ended up killing about 5.4 billion ISK over its course. And then 3 days later, we did the exact same thing, killing the Whitac M Ansablex again, and also clearing up another 1.5 billion ISK of kills across the night. If this sounds like the sort of content that you're interested in, then I'm going to leave a link to the Discord where we organise these fleets down below. Please do consider joining, as once we can regularly get into the 20 to 30 man size, I'm hoping to form up some battlecruiser fleets and try and go mano a mano with AO. But I hope you've had fun watching, and until next time, fly smart.